Earth did not feel like a battlefield that morning. It felt normal. The sun rose over quiet cities. Trains moved. Children went to school. Pilots talked to towers. Satellites circled in clean, perfect lines. From space, Earth looked peaceful. Blue. Alive. Then the sky changed. High above the planet, 12 dark shapes appeared. They did not glow like meteors. They did not blink like satellites. They moved with purpose. Silent. Controlled. No alarm sounded at first. Human systems saw them, but too late. Their speed was wrong. Their shape was wrong. These were not natural objects. In under 30 seconds, every major space agency saw the same data. Radar spikes. Heat signatures. Unknown propulsion. The calculations finished with one cold answer. Incoming. The first missile struck without warning. It hit a coastal city. There was no explosion sound at first, only light. White. Endless. Then the shockwave arrived and tore buildings apart like paper. The ocean rose, then fell back in fire and steam. Before the world could understand what happened, the second missile hit. Then the third. Then the fourth. 12 missiles. 12 strikes. Different continents. Different nations. No pattern, except destruction. Power grids collapsed. Satellites went blind. Communication died mid-sentence. Cities burned in silence, cut off from the world. Millions were gone in minutes. Human leaders stared at screens that no longer updated. Some screamed. Some prayed. Some said nothing at all. This was not war as humanity knew it. There was no declaration. No demand. No enemy face. Just punishment from the sky. Military command centers tried to respond. Fighters launched, but there was nothing to fight. Missile systems searched for targets, but the attackers were already gone. Whatever had struck Earth did not stay to watch. From orbit, space returned to silence. And that silence was worse than the explosions. Because silence meant intent. Across the planet, people waited for the next strike. Hospitals overflowed. Emergency signals filled the air until power failed completely. Fires burned with no one to stop them. Smoke covered cities like a second night. To the enemy watching from far away, Earth looked broken. Weak. Finished. They believed humanity would collapse into chaos. That nations would blame each other. That fear would do the rest. But something else happened. Deep inside underground facilities, lights turned on. Places that did not exist on any map. Rooms built decades ago, then forgotten. Systems that had never been tested, because no one thought they would ever need to be. Humanity did not scream into space. Humanity went quiet. Military channels switched to sealed networks. Old codes were used. Codes written for a day that many believed would never come. Artificial intelligences, restricted for centuries, were given full control authority. Across Earth, the same message reached every government, every command center, every remaining satellite. No emotion. No debate. Just one sentence. Stage black is active. For most humans, those words meant nothing. For the people who built Earth's deepest secrets, it meant everything. Beneath mountains, doors opened. Under oceans, metal structures shifted for the first time in generations. Inside deserts, buried engines began to warm. Humanity had always feared invasion. Not because they were peaceful. But because they knew themselves. They knew what they were capable of when cornered. And they had prepared. Far away, aboard the alien command vessels, sensors picked up strange signals. Power surges across the planet. Heat signatures that made no sense for a wounded world. Earth was not dying. Earth was waking up. The alien commanders paused. Their screens filled with new data, human technology behaving in ways it never had before. Weapons activating that should not exist. Energy levels climbing instead of falling. Confusion replaced confidence. This was not the response of a defeated species. This was the response of something angry. Back on Earth, among the ruins and smoke, survivors looked at the sky with fear. They did not know what was coming next. But deep below their feet, something ancient and human took its first breath in centuries. The day Earth bled was not the end. It was the beginning. And the galaxy was about to learn what humanity does. After it survives the impossible. The alien fleet did not move closer. They stayed far above Earth's orbit, watching from a safe distance. To them, Earth was already defeated. The missiles had done their job. The planet burned. Signals were weak. Civilization looked broken. This was how it always went. Strike first. Cripple fast. Let fear finish the work. On the command bridge of the alien flagship, the mood was calm. Cold. Professional. The commanders studied holographic maps of Earth. Red marks showed the impact zones. Casualty numbers climbed fast. This species will fracture, one officer said. Primitive social units. Many governments. No unity. The fleet commander agreed. He had seen it before on other worlds. After the first strike, the survivors always fought each other. Panic spread faster than fire. They decided not to invade yet. They wanted to watch. Minutes passed. Then hours. Something felt wrong. Earth was not sending surrender signals. No emergency broadcasts reached the fleet. No desperate messages. No threats. No cries for mercy. Just silence. The alien sensors scanned deeper. At first, they assumed damage. Then they noticed patterns. Communication lines were not destroyed, they were sealed. Power was not gone, it was rerouted. Earth was reorganizing. This is not collapse, an analyst said slowly. This is control. The commander ordered a deeper scan. That was the second mistake. Human countermeasures activated instantly. Alien probes went blind. Long-range sensors filled with noise. Entire data streams vanished as if erased. The fleet lost sight of half the planet in seconds. On Earth, hidden command centers tracked the enemy with calm precision. Human generals did not argue. They did not shout. They did not waste time blaming the past. They had trained for this. Every nation placed its forces under one command. There were no flags in the war rooms. No politics. Just survival. A single human voice spoke across the secured global network. We confirm non-human attack. Casualties catastrophic. Response authority granted. No applause followed. No speeches. Orders began moving faster than fear. Old military projects, once called impossible, were reactivated. Weapons banned by treaties that no longer mattered. Artificial minds, once limited, now given full freedom. The aliens noticed something else. Earth's radio noise changed. Human signals became sharp. Focused. Directed outward. They were not talking to each other anymore. They were aiming. The alien fleet commander frowned. He had expected chaos. Instead, he was watching coordination at a planetary scale. Increase distance, he ordered. Prepare secondary strike if needed. Another mistake. As alien ships adjusted position, something unexpected happened. Space around Earth distorted, just slightly. Sensors struggled to measure it. Then a human satellite moved. Not a weapon. Not an attack. A message. It was simple. Short. Clear. Coordinates. Timing data. And a single line of text. Do not move. The alien bridge went silent. No species had ever spoken to them like this. Not after the first strike. Not after losing millions. Before the commander could respond, Earth did something unthinkable. Human ships launched. Not from spaceports, but from inside the planet itself. Massive structures rose through oceans, breaking the surface like metal giants. Others tore out of mountains and deserts, shedding rock and sand as engines ignited. These were not fleets meant for defense. They were built to end wars. Alien officers shouted. Weapon systems powered up. But their targeting solutions failed again and again. Human ships moved unpredictably, using physics the aliens did not understand. Earth was not improvising. Earth was executing a plan. The fleet commander finally understood the truth. Those 12 missiles were not enough. Humanity had survived extinction events before. Ice. Fire. Disease. War with itself. And each time, it learned. The commander issued a final order. Prepare for full engagement. On Earth, the response was already waiting. The enemy had struck first. Now humanity would show them. For the first time since the attack, Earth spoke back. Not with words. With preparation. The alien fleet watched human ships spread out from the planet. They expected panic moves. Fast attacks. Emotional mistakes. They saw none. Human ships did not rush. They took positions. Perfect distances. Perfect angles. Like soldiers who had trained for this moment long before it arrived. Inside the alien flagship, analysts worked non-stop. They compared data, energy readings, movement patterns. The results made no sense. These designs are old, one officer said. Yet advanced. That was true. Humanity had built these weapons quietly. Slowly. Over generations. Many of them were designed when humans had not even left their own solar system. They were not meant for quick wars. They were meant for survival. Long before first contact, humans had asked one simple question. What if we are not alone, and we are not welcome? The answer had been hidden underground, underwater, and behind layers of false budgets and forgotten programs. Now those answers were awake. Deep below the Earth's surface, command cores hummed. Artificial intelligences processed battle scenarios faster than any living mind. They did not feel fear. They did not hesitate. Human commanders watched projections in silence. Loss estimates. Strike windows. Enemy response times. No cheering. No anger. Just focus. The aliens launched drones to test Earth's defenses. They never returned. Human counter-drones hunted them quietly, without explosions. Alien signals vanished mid-transmission. Data streams cut off as if sliced clean. The alien fleet pulled back farther. This was no longer observation. This was danger. Earth technology is adapting in real time, an officer warned. Faster than predicted. The fleet commander felt something unfamiliar. Concern. Human weapons were not just powerful. They were flexible. They learned. They changed behavior mid-battle. Each failed alien probe made the next human response sharper. This was not normal warfare. This was predation. Back on Earth, survivors never saw the battles forming above them. They only noticed the sky change at night. New lights. Moving stars that did not follow old paths. Some thought they were seeing hope. Others felt dread. They were both right. The human high command issued a quiet directive. Reveal Phase 1. Nothing exploded. Nothing fired. Instead, the planet's magnetic field shifted, just slightly. Alien sensors struggled. Navigation systems drifted off by fractions that became kilometers over distance. Alien ships corrected manually. That slowed them. Human ships moved freely. Then Phase 2 began. Signals flooded space. Old human radio frequencies, layered with new code. To alien systems, it looked like noise. To human AIs, it was a weapon. Enemy targeting systems lagged. Fire control solutions delayed. One alien cruiser miscalculated a turn and exposed its engine core. A human ship fired once. No flash. No sound. The alien cruiser folded inward and vanished, crushed by a localized gravity strike. The fleet froze. That ship was gone, not damaged. Not disabled. Gone. The commander stared at the empty space where it had been. This species, he said slowly, never showed this capability. That was the third mistake. Humanity had never shown its full strength. Why would they? They fought each other for centuries. They learned how to hide. How to deceive. How to build weapons without showing intent. They had never needed to show the galaxy. Until now. Another alien ship was lost. Then another. Human strikes were precise. Limited. Almost careful. They were not trying to destroy the fleet. They were sending a lesson. Back on Earth, a single message was prepared. Not for the enemy alone, but for anyone listening. It was sent on open space channels. Simple language. No threat. 12 missiles struck our world. This is our response level 1. The alien fleet understood immediately. There were more levels. The fleet commander made a choice. He ordered his ships into attack formation. If humanity wanted war, they would give them one. Above Earth, weapons powered up on both sides. Energy readings climbed to dangerous levels. Space itself seemed to hold its breath. The galaxy was watching now. And humanity was done hiding. The alien fleet moved as one. Thousands of ships shifted into attack formation, their hulls glowing as weapons charged. Energy built up in waves that bent light and confused sensors. This was the force that had erased worlds before. The alien commander believed numbers would decide this. He was wrong. Human ships did not form a defensive line. They did not shield Earth. They moved away from it. That was the moment the aliens misunderstood everything. Earth was no longer defending itself. Earth was hunting. Human vessels split into small groups. Some vanished from sensors entirely. Others accelerated in ways that should have torn them apart. Their paths looked chaotic, but every movement followed a calculated pattern. Alien targeting systems struggled to lock on. Human ships did not move like machines. They moved like living things. Predictive models failed. Weapons fired into empty space. Then the first human strike hit the fleet core. Not a missile. Not a beam. A sudden absence. Space collapsed inward, crushing 3 alien cruisers into fragments smaller than dust. The shockwave rippled through the formation, knocking ships off balance. The alien fleet fired back. Thousands of energy lances streaked through space toward Earth. Most never reached it. Human interceptor systems activated automatically. Some weapons destroyed incoming fire. Others bent it away. A few captured the energy and fed it back into human power cores. The aliens watched in disbelief. Their attack made Earth stronger. Human command issued the next order. Advance. Human ships surged forward. Not in a single wave, but in layers. Drones first. Then fast-strike craft. Then heavy platforms that bent space around them as they moved. Alien ships began to fall faster. Human weapons targeted engines, command nodes, and communication arrays. No wasted shots. No panic firing. This was not rage. This was discipline. The alien commander ordered the planet killer weapon armed. A last resort system. A weapon designed to crack worlds and end wars in one strike. The energy required bent spacetime around the flagship itself. Human sensors detected it instantly. Earth command did not hesitate. Priority target confirmed. Every human system adjusted. Ships that had been fighting pulled away. The battlefield reshaped itself around the alien flagship. The aliens believed this meant retreat. It meant focus. Human ships surrounded the flagship at extreme distance. Not close enough to attack. Close enough to watch. Then Earth spoke again. A transmission cut through all frequencies. Clear. Calm. Human. You struck our cities. You killed our people. This is your final warning. The alien commander tried to respond. He never finished. Human weapons fired in sequence. Not all at once. One by one. Each strike testing, weakening, learning. The planet killer weapon destabilized. Its energy core overloaded. The flagship did not explode. It tore itself apart from the inside. Chunks of alien metal drifted into space, still glowing from the force that destroyed them. The largest warship in the fleet was gone. Silence returned. The remaining alien ships froze. They had lost their command. Their ultimate weapon. Their certainty. Human ships did not chase them. They waited. Across the galaxy, sensors recorded the moment. The fall of a fleet that had never been defeated before. The rise of a species that refused to stay small. Earth sent one last message. We are not finished. But you are done here. The alien fleet began to retreat. On Earth, fires still burned. Cities were still broken. Millions were dead. But humanity stood. And now the stars knew the truth. Earth was no victim. Earth was a warning. The alien fleet retreated in silence. No formation. No pride. Just distance. Ships that once ruled the void turned away from Earth as fast as their engines allowed. Some were damaged. Some were blind. All of them were afraid. Human ships did not pursue. That choice confused the galaxy. Other empires had chased enemies to extinction. Humanity did not. They watched. They recorded. They let the survivors run. Because fear travels farther than fire. Inside Earth's command centers, no one celebrated. The battle was not over, only paused. Damage reports continued to arrive. Cities lost. Oceans poisoned. Skies dark with smoke. The cost was written everywhere. Human leaders stood in silence as numbers filled the screens. Millions dead. Entire regions broken. History changed in a single day. Then a new question appeared. What now? Some commanders argued for total destruction. They wanted the alien fleet erased. No risk. No return. Others said nothing. A single human voice spoke at last. Calm. Steady. If we destroy them all, the voice said, the galaxy will only see our power. If we let them live, the galaxy will learn our rule. The decision was made. Humanity prepared a broadcast. Not a threat. Not a boast. A record. The message was sent on every open channel. Military. Civilian. Trade routes. Frequencies used by species that had never even heard of Earth. The message showed no flags. No leaders. Only images. Burning cities. Silent hospitals. Children pulled from rubble. Then the response. Human ships rising from oceans. Alien cruisers folding into nothing. The flagship tearing itself apart. Finally, words appeared. Simple. Clear. We did not seek the stars for war. We prepared because history taught us pain. A pause. You struck first. Another pause. We chose mercy second. The message ended with coordinates. Earth's location. And one final line. Do not test the third choice. Across the galaxy, governments panicked. Councils met in emergency session. Old maps were rewritten. Trade routes changed overnight. Earth was no longer marked as a minor world. It was marked as restricted. Back on Earth, survivors looked up at quiet skies. No more lights moving like false stars. No more fear of the next strike. For the first time since the missiles fell, the planet could breathe. Rebuilding began immediately. Not with speeches, but with action. Nations stayed united. Borders remained closed, not to people, but to old hate. Humanity remembered the day Earth bled. They would never forget it. Deep in space, the surviving alien ships carried scars, physical and mental. They sent warnings ahead of them. Stories of a planet that should have died but did not. A species that did not beg. Did not chase. Did not forgive easily. The galaxy listened. And from that day forward, whenever war plans were drawn and targets were chosen, one rule appeared at the top of every list. Never strike Earth first. Because once, 12 missiles hit a blue world. And humanity answered. By reminding the universe. Why it survived everything. That tried to erase it.